Hi lovelies, you're welcome to my channel. So I'm going to be making this smoky dress that you see me putting on. So to make this smoky dress, I made use of 2.5 yards, but you can make use of 3 yards to be on a safer side. And if you're making it for the longer length, please make use of 3.5 yards, okay? So now we've gone ahead to fold the 2.5 inches by 2, and then I fold it again by 2. So I'm having 4 layers here. Okay, I'm having 4 layers here, and then the part that has no slit at all is my middle part, which is here. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to come down from this point here by 1 inch. This is where I'm going to take as my chest line. I'm going to use that 1 inch to fold to hem the chest line. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to roll a straight line on that point, and then I'm going to be coming down by 7.5 inches, which is from my shoulder to my chest line. Okay, now I'll go ahead and place the 7.5 inches on that line there, the first line there, and then I will mark up to my waistline, that is my half length, and then I'll mark up to the full length of my gown. So this is a short gown. Okay, I'm making use of 38 inches plus 1 inch extra for the hemming allowance, that is 39 inches. So I'll go ahead now to rule a straight line on those points like so. I'm going to divide my hip circumference by 4. So after dividing 41 by 4, I got 10.25 inches. So I'm going to mark the 10.25 inches on this my chest line here like so. After marking the point there, I'm going to add extra 5 inches because we're making a smoky dress. So we need this dress to have space. So when we smoke it, it's going to as in be easy for us to put on. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and take my waist circumference divided by 4, which gives me 8.5 inches. I'll mark the point there, and I'm going to add extra 5 inches just like I did for the chest line. So now this is not compulsory. You can take the same measurement you took on the chest line on your waistline. I just decided to do mine like so. Okay, so you can take the same measurements that you took on your chest line on your waistline to be on a safer side. Okay, and then you can still take the same measurement on your full length line. But for mine, because I'm not joining this with any gather, I'm just going to connect it this way to the full length. Okay, so like I said earlier, you can decide to take the same measurement on all the whole line. Okay, but this particular pattern makes the downside to be more free. You understand? So I'll go ahead now and cut this, leaving half of an inch at the side when cutting it for the stitching allowance, and then I will cut the down. Now I'm going to go ahead and notch this point here, that is the chest line, so that I will know where I'm hemming this to. Now after doing that, the next thing I'm going to do is to separate the front from the back. The next thing I will do is to use my chalk to mark out the lines that I'm going to be sewing the smoky thread on. Now this is going to give me a guideline when I'm sewing on my machine. Okay, so from the waist of this dress, that is where I mark 1 inch spacing, of which I'm still going to run smoky thread in between those 1 inch spacing. Okay, so I'm just going to do this for the front piece and also the back piece. After doing this, the next thing I'm going to do is to hem the chest line. Okay, I'll hem the chest line for the back piece and the front piece, and I'll be right back. So I'm going to fold with half inch and then another half inch, meeting the notch point. Okay, now I'll go ahead to sew this, and after sewing, this is what I have. Okay, I've also gone ahead to roll the same line on the back piece as well. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to bring my shuttle and then my bobbling. So I'm also going to bring my smoky thread. Okay, now I'm going to bring my shuttle and then I'm going to, the way you put your thread on your reeler, but the difference is when putting the um smoky thread on your reeler, do not drag it, don't stretch it, just carefully put it. Now after doing mine, this is what I have. I will just put it inside my bobbin case and then I will head over to my sewing machine. Now I'm going to place this inside my sewing machine. Then I'll start sewing from the first chalked line. So after sewing the first chalked line, I'm going to sew in between the 1 inch, okay? And then I'll go ahead to sew the next chalked line. So this is how I'm going to do it till I get to my half length where the chalked line stops, okay? So after I was done smoking it, this is what I have. Okay, and this is it for the front piece, this is it for the back piece. Okay, so now I'm going to place this right side facing the right side, and for this particular smoky dress, I'm going to be cutting out pocket for it. So from my half length of 18 inches, I came down by 1.5 inches, and I'm going to notch the point there like so. And from that point that I notched, I'm going to mark 7 inches for the wideness of the pocket. Okay, now after marking the 7 inches, I'm going to notch it as well. Now after notching it, I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side as well. Okay, so come down by 1.5 inch from the half length, mark your 7 inches for neck for the pocket wideness, notch both points. Now to cut out the sleeve, I went ahead to get a wide material, and then I folded it by 2 and then by 2 again. That is, I'm going to be having 4 layers. I have tutorial on this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now and come down by half of an inch from this point here, and then I will mark the 7 inches. Now after marking the 7 inches like so, I'm going to place my hand like this, and I'll go ahead to give this a curve. Okay, after giving it a curve, I'm going to cut with half-inch stitching allowance all round. And now I have 2 for the front, 2 for the back. Okay, that is for the pocket. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my pocket the right side facing the right side from the first notch point to the last, to the second notch point. Okay, then I will go ahead and sew this with half of an inch. I'll repeat the same process for the other side as well. So after I was done sewing, attaching the pocket to the front piece and the back piece, this is how it's looking like. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and place the front piece on the back piece, right side facing the right side, and then I'll go ahead to stitch this with half of an inch from the chest line all the way to the hemline. So now I'm done closing the two sides with half of an inch all the way to the hemline. The next thing I'll do is to turn this over to the front, and this is how the pocket is looking like. You can see that this came out so lovely. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to work on the strap. Okay, so for the strap, I went ahead to measure about 25 inches for the length, and then 4 inches for the wideness. Okay, so on fold I'm going to be having 2 inches, but what I need is 1.5 inches, so I had made it 2 inches on fold because I'm going to be using half inch to stitch this and turn over to the right side. Okay, now I'll do this for the other piece as well. Now after stitching this and turning it to the right side, you can see what I have. The next thing I'm going to do is to choose my front, and then I'll go ahead to um get the middle point of the front piece, and from that middle point I'm going to mark out 5 inches. This is where I'm going to place the strap. Okay, you can mark 5 inches, 4.5 inches. Okay, it is fine. If you're on a bigger size, please make use of 5 inches. Now I'll go ahead and place this underneath the chest line. Okay, I'm placing the strap underneath the chest line exactly on that 5 inches point. Now I will do the same thing for the other side as well. So I'm just going to pin this down, and then I will head over to my sewing machine to stitch it. So at this point, if you're still here to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe, comment, share and like. Okay, so after stitching it, this is what I have. So I'm going to be tying this across my neck, and this is all for this my beautiful smoky gown. I'm just going to fold the down with half inch and another half inch, and sew all around. So this is basically all for this tutorial. Bye for now, and thanks for watching.